Hi guys, it's your boy Gadget Man 404 here, and like the title says, ND filters or no ND filters, that is the question. Now this flight is not a range test, it's not an endurance flight. I was using ND filter number 8 and I just wanted to see, I wanted to go to a certain distance and then I'm going to do a video 2, same flight with no ND filter and then see if you guys, which you think's better. Now, I've got a screen recording with the actual settings of this ND filter and the shutter speed, etc. I think it was 1000 over 160 or 1000 over 200, around about there. The higher the second number, so from 200, 300 and so on, the darker it gets. And then what happens is when you look down, then it gets even darker. Whereas normally when you are got no ND filters on and you're looking down, it actually gets lighter. Now as you can see, for some reason the horizon has gone off. Gimbal sort of tilted and now it's straightening itself. I don't know what happened there, but it happens another time on the way back. Now I'm on 1.1.10 app. I downgraded. This was before DJI launched the patch, which was the 1.1 point, I think it's 21. I've heard reports that people are still reporting bad things and still having issues with that app. So I watched a guy called Drone Tech Media, as a Danish gentleman. I think his name is Henrik Olsen, and he was talking about downgrading. This was before DJI even launched the app, downgrading to 1.1.10 on iOS. There again, the gimbal is going off a little bit, don't know why, but eventually it sort of comes back. I wasn't using my sun hood today, and there could have been a little bit of a cross breeze, so that's what could have caused that. Now I'm coming back facing into the sun. The sun is in the top right hand corner, and as you can see, the gimbal is going off again. Now, it did it with the ND filter, but I can tell you guys, to my knowledge, on the second flight, it doesn't do it with without the ND filter. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it corrects itself. Like you can see, it's leveling itself off. So maybe I was getting a bit of a breeze at this point, but to be honest, I couldn't feel it. But I was standing behind or in front of some trees and they could have been sheltering me. I was flying around about 150 odd feet high, but that is my normal height. I mean, to be honest, I normally fly a lot higher than that. I go up to 250 feet. But colours seem pretty good going out, always coming back in towards the sun. They always seem a bit washed out. You can't help that. It's just the direction of where the sun is at the time of the flight that you're doing. It's, if you went a bit later on in the day, maybe the sun would have been in a different position in the sky. But it's also winter months, so you've got to take into account the sun is lower in the sky as well. I also got a few weak signal just antennas on the way out, like I only did 5,000 feet and I've done in the same direction, I've done over 10,000, and the last time I got a weak signal was at 12,300, same area, so it could have been solar flares that were causing interference that can interfere with your radio signal. But I'm no scientist, but I think that does interfere with the signal. Now, this second flight, as you can see, the colours look a lot better now because the sun's behind me. Again, no, or I am using ND filter, sorry, and I'm using ND filter number 8, and I believe the company I think they are Sunny Hill ND filters. You get them in a hard case, you get 4, but you only get 2 actual ND filters and the other 2 are clear. You get an ND4, an ND8, I think it's a CPL and a UV something, a UVL or something. I've never used those ones, to be honest, but as I think, they're mainly for taking glare off water and things like that. So yeah, that's I don't really use them. I like the glare on the water, to be fair, so I don't use them. But there is a quarry or some thing in front of me, so I'm just literally going over the water. Excuse me, this is like 6:15 in the morning. This is Thursday morning. So I've just had my breakfast. I'm doing this voice over, watching this video. This was recorded in 2.5K, 30 FPS. ISO was 100. As I say, the only difference on this one was my shutter speed, and I believe it was either 1000 over 160 or 1000 over 200 or 240. I deliberately tried to make it darker than it was because I didn't want the sky to be just white, and the ND filters have helped. Bit of a glitch there and a glitch there again. Don't know why, because I've played this video back in a different app and that didn't happen, but there you go, it's happened this time. I get to about, I think the battery on this one, and I'm in P mode, around about 35%, guys. It will do low battery return to home. I just give it full stick forward, so to go from 17.5, 18 miles an hour to around about 20, 22, 23. But I did notice halfway across it was going slower in speed, like around about 20. So maybe there was a bit of a headwind, even though I couldn't feel it myself, but I had lots of layers on, face mask, gloves, all that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm not flying over it, I'm just flying to it, and I just take some photos. If I can find the photos, excuse me, I will put them in this video. To me it looks pretty good. The sky is a little bit lighter than I was hoping for, but the grass is fairly green. It looks a nice shot there. I think I take 2 or 3 photos. I'll have to look on the SD card and see if the photos have actually come out. But I just want to fly until it does return to home. And it does return to home at, as I say, at 35%. As you can see, no issues with the gimbal. And there's no issues with the gimbal on the way home. And now it's been returned to home. The water in front of me, I believe this is called Barrow-on-Trent, and you'll see at the end of this water it looks like they're building a bridge, so maybe it's for the farmers to get from one field to the other easily, because otherwise they've got to go miles and miles round the river bank to get to the other side. So they've made a road because they've had to, well, they're going to have to get cranes to lift these structures across the river, and this is part of the River Trent. As you can see, it's quite calm. There's hardly any ripples on the water, and you know you can see the reflection of the clouds into the water because it's that calm. Still giving it full stick forward, but I'm not getting much over 20 miles an hour, and normally I'd get 23, 24. As you can see, guys, this is probably going to be the bridge structure. These concrete bases on this side of the river and the other side, and they're just going to go across, and it's probably just for traffic, farmland traffic. So maybe the farmers have paid to get this done. The Anchor Church is to my right. Probably saw it a bit earlier on, I just didn't see it straight away. Anchor Church is a real nice place in Ingleby, and literally to get to Anchor Church on the to my left as I'm looking upfield, there is a blue gate public footpath, and you walk all the way down that field along the edge, and it takes you to this Anchor Church. So that's it really, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's free to do so, guys. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit the bell notification. It's also free. Doesn't cost anything. And if you want to, guys, then basically just keep watching out for my stuff. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Gadget Man 404 out. Stay safe, fly safe, and keep each other safe.